Hey everyone, thanks for joining. Today I'm going to be taking you through a tool I've been using and testing pretty extensively over the last few weeks. It is called DocuPipe. Now, if you're like me and you deal with a lot of documents, things like contracts, SOWs, SOPs, invoices, medical records, or even technical specs, basically anything that is text heavy, this one might be worth paying attention to. Now, a lot of people ask, what is DocuPipe? And I think it's a little bit hard to separate from similar tools, but when you look into the features, you will understand why this one is a real awesome standout tool, and I've really enjoyed using it. Now, essentially, it is an AI-powered document parsing and OCR tool. So a lot of tools like this do work in a similar way where they read and extract data. However, instead of just reading text from images or PDFs, it actually structures the data into clean and usable outputs. Now, if you've ever uploaded like a messy scan or even a photo taken with a shaky phone, for example, or even like me, where I've got a lot of things like complex tables or data structures within a document, and especially those which contain handwritten notes, you might think, oh, this is going to be a nightmare. And that is the problem that DocuPipe is trying to solve. So I do like that it handles multiple data structures and multiple document format types. So you can actually see here, you can upload things like a PNG, PDF, Word documents, pretty much anything. I have actually tested this in quite a bit of detail and played around with different document formats, and it seems to handle it really well, which is awesome. Now, I do like that it supports multiple languages as well. So aside from just complex layouts or document types, it actually does multi-language support, which is really fantastic, especially if you're like me and you deal with a lot of global teams. And you do have a lot of multi-language documents that come through. It can be quite tricky to extract that with normal tools. I found it can be a little bit inconsistent. Now, it really does everything. So one of the standout features for me is the security and compliance. Now, if you are dealing with any kind of personal information, like me, where we're maybe dealing with customer information or patient records or invoicing details, I do like that it is really secure. They do comply to a number of standards like SOC 2, ISO 27001, and things like GDPR, etc. All those compliances are regulated and have been met. So basically, you're staying in a fully encrypted data environment, which I really like. So a lot of my team have made the mistake of going and uploading documents to things like ChatGPT. And keep in mind that this is not as secure, of course, and you don't ultimately know where your information is going to end up. This is one of the standout features for me. It's really great. This means that I can use this for a lot of sensitive information, knowing that I've got good backing here from a data compliance and privacy point of view, which is fantastic. Now, first impressions, I'm going to take you through the onboarding because I think it's one of the standout features of the tool as well. But I do like on their website, before we get into the nitty-gritty, is that they do compare their tooling to a lot of similar ones. Now, there is Tesseract, there's Textract, there's Google OCR, there's of course ChatGPT, there's Parsing, there's a number of tools out there that do similar things. However, it is important to look at those features that might be important for you and keep in mind if things like, for example, speed and efficiency and accuracy are really important. DocuPipe meets a lot of these compared to some of the other tools that I've used, especially when uploading like really data heavy contracts. I have found some of the other tools a little bit slow in comparison. Now, we're going to be taking a deep dive into the actual workings of a system, which is really great. So first impression is, I don't know where to start. I don't know what this tool does. I don't know how it works. And I really like that they had the guided onboarding. So there's like a checklist that you will go through each of these various steps so that you know where to go, you know where to click, you know what to do. Now, the thing I saw straight away was create schema, actually one of the first things. And I thought, oh my goodness, this is going to be so complicated. And I literally thought you would go another tool that requires like a 3-hour onboarding process or a tutorial. However, this is surprisingly really well done. And you can literally just start the tour and they'll take you through each of these various steps. I do like they've got these tooltips. So you can go straight away, upload a document as mentioned. They do allow for multiple formats. I have tested a couple of these and I've been really impressed. But overall, really, really great. And it's a really nice way to get familiar with the system if you're not sure. Or even perhaps you're not a very technical or tech-savvy user. That's actually not as difficult as one might think. Now, once you've uploaded your document, it's passed in like under a minute, which is fantastic. So parsing generally can take a bit of time. However, I found it really quite quick within the system. And it did parse things like a lab report for me, even a doctor's note, which actually had doctor's handwriting. And I thought this is the ultimate test for any document parsing tool. And it did it accurately. In fact, even the script that I wasn't sure what it said, it extracted that data accurately, which I thought was really great. So I'd love to show that, but that does contain personal information. But I would recommend giving it a try and putting it through its paces if you're not sure. Now, keep in mind that you will have an overview available for the documents that you've uploaded. You can at any time upload additional ones. You can see here I've done a commercial lease agreement, for example, SOW, so multiple items here. And I do want to say I did try to put it through its paces with really lengthy documents, like 31 plus pages. And it actually pulled out all the information really quickly and easily, which I quite liked. Now, I really like the fact that there's a lot of help articles and resources available on the tool. So do keep that in mind if you're not too sure where to go. And they do explain things really well. Now, schema creation is the next tool that you would go and generate or put together. And I really like that DocuPipe has explained it in quite an easy way. Now, a schema is basically the structure you want the tool to look for in a document. So if you can imagine DocuPipe, if DocuPipe were the cooking, the document would be your ingredients and the schema is basically the recipe. And then ultimately you get your final JSON output and that is the finished meal. So that is really great. And I really like that you're able to go and create schemas within minutes. It does not take long at all. And then you can go straight into your standardization process. Now, standardization is really where the magic happens. Keeping in mind that you can go and improve these and review these, and I really like that as well. But basically, it takes the chaos out of the text inside your document and transforms it into structured data. Now, usually JSON, which you use in automations or workflows, and if JSON isn't your favorite thing, you can actually automatically convert it into an Excel file as well, which is really convenient. So you'll see here I've created a test document and we can actually pull out the JSON extract if needed. But it's actually gone and structured all the key areas of my document, which I found fantastic. Now, you can go and do an AI review and you can improve your schema, which is really great. And it's actually got AI assistants to help you improve this as you go through the process. So really nice to know some really good features here that I haven't seen on a lot of other tools. I think in terms of the AI functionality and assistance, it's really strong in comparison to some of the tools I've used. So do keep this in mind. I would recommend always going through and checking your documents. It is important. You're not always going to get a perfect output every single time, but you do have the option to go and improve that, download it, and that kind of thing as well. Now, the AI review is, like I said, one of the standout features. I would recommend using it wherever possible. You can go and create a review and it will basically go over your document and identify exactly the fields that it has extracted and basically creates traceability between your extracted data and the source documents. So I would recommend having a look at these tools like this within DocuPipe. Really, really fantastic. It does cost you credits per action, so do keep that in mind. But overall, really, really powerful functionality. Now, There is a lot more that this tool can do, things like automations and workflows, which I found super useful. I'm always excited about these because I like to avoid repetitive admin wherever possible. You can go and create a workflow and set various steps for specific types of documents. So I would set up one for an SOW. These are documents I typically review quite regularly. And I wanted to automatically go parse it, standardize it, review it for me. And that's all done within the platform. So really, really great in terms of going and having the standardization features automated, as well as your parsing and relevant information all done. Now, there are additional features within the tool, such as merges. You can split documents as well, which is great. So you can split different sections. But overall, really, really great use and functionality and speed. I would say accuracy and speed is probably one of the standout features that I found. And as mentioned, I've tested this against quite a few documents. And I've done a couple of reviews just to kind of sense check if the information it's pulling out is accurate and how quick it is. Overall, I've been really impressed. I do want to just keep in mind that the pricing is credit-based. So for example, each pass would use a credit per page, whereas, for example, standardization uses 2 per page. So keep that in mind in terms of what kind of documentation you're going to be working with, how much, how frequently, and kind of the level of documentation you would need. Now, they do have various pricing plans, which I really appreciate, including a free plan. So I would recommend, if you're not sure about a tool like this, go and have a look at the free plan. Keep in mind you are limited to credits per month, but it is really useful to use if you are a small business, or perhaps you're an individual like me who just needs a few documents done every couple months. And they do offer really reasonable monthly pricing from $99 per month up to about $499 per month, as well as custom pricing for enterprise organizations. There are additional credit costs that do scale, so keep in mind they are very transparent, which I really like in terms of the pricing plan. So you would get a bit of a feel for the pricing as you go through each of the credit costs. Now, overall, I've been really impressed. It's fast, it's accurate, it's secure, it ticked a lot of the boxes that I was looking for. And overall, I just found it really does convert chaos into order and structured documentation, which is really, really useful for me. I do want to say it may require a little bit of setup initially, but once your schemas and workflows are in place, it really is a great time saver. Now, if you do process high volumes of documents, or if you're drowning in admin work, this is definitely a tool for you, definitely worth testing out. Keep in mind that they do have custom pricing available if you are a large organization. And as mentioned, there are a lot of options out there and alternatives. I would recommend going and trialing them out. So, I mean, Amazon Textract is the one that does come up. And I know that they have a comparison chart for you that you could go and have a look at some of the similar tooling out there. However, they are really strong. I do like to compare them when I do test out tools, so I have done that. But overall, really, really fantastic, and definitely worth giving the free trial a spin. Thanks so much.